This morning, South Korea is working to secure the safe return of hundreds of citizens after they were caught up in an immigration raid last week. A dramatic scene on Thursday when federal agents executed a raid on a Hyundai facility and battery plant in Georgia, arresting 475 people, a majority of them South Korean nationals. The raid was the largest single-site immigration enforcement operation in DHS history. Now, the White House is warning more large-scale worksite raids will follow. This moment, as a new NBC poll shows 47% approve of the president's handling of border security and immigration, with slightly less, 43% approving when it comes to his aggressive deportation program. NBC News legal affairs reporter Gary Grumbach is joining us now. Gary, what more do we know about who was detained and plans for deporting them?
So this is a story with massive foreign relations implications and also massive economic implications here. We know that 475 people, most of them were South Koreans, are now currently sitting in an ICE facility in Georgia in a search warrant that was unsealed Friday. We know that the government was looking for 4 individuals who were not South Koreans. Now, we don't know what the relationship is between the hundreds and hundreds of South Koreans and those 4 individuals, but there was discussion of potential violation of federal laws, including harboring aliens and unlawful employment practices. Now, no charges have been filed yet, but in terms of removing these folks from this country, the South Koreans are actually helping out with that. The foreign minister is on his way to the U.S. as we speak, and we expect he's going to be part of the chartering of flights that are going to come from Georgia back to South Korea. The South Korean foreign minister saying in part, it's essential to ensure that such an event never happens again and to work with the U.S. side to establish fundamental countermeasures here. Yeah.
Okay, Gary, thank you for laying it out for us.
We represent several employees from different Korean companies that were engaged in the plant construction and development. One thing I think that's been unclear through all this is why did ICE, and a specific part of ICE, HSI, go to this plant? As the reporter mentioned, they were looking for 4 Latino workers. That's it. In fact, when ICE went to this plant, we have now found out they didn't understand that there were a lot of Koreans there. The Koreans were never part of the plan, which is why they didn't even bring a single Korean translator with them. It turns out that the vast majority of these Korean workers weren't pounding nails. They weren't building facilities. They were working on what's called after-sales service and installation pursuant to valid visas in the United States. Every one of these individuals had entered on a visa. They had told Customs and Border Protection why they were here. For those that actually had visas as opposed to ESTA, they had gone to the consulate and explained they were working for companies that were selling the parts of the plant that create the batteries from their foreign companies. It turns out there's only 3 companies in the entire world that actually make the equipment that allows you to make batteries. And none of those companies are in the United States. These individuals were working for those companies in installing the plant, so the plant could then employ U.S. workers.
I want to play what President Trump said when he was asked about this Hyundai raid yesterday.
The way you train people is bring people in that know what they're doing and let them stay for a little while and help. So I'm going to look at that. It's a very interesting situation that took place in Georgia. And we heard about it yesterday. At the same time, ICE was doing right because they were here illegally. But we do have to work something out where we bring in experts so that our people can be trained so that they can do it themselves.
So what's your reaction to that? Does it seem to fit with your clients' stories?
Well, it kind of does. I mean, initially, the president said they were here doing exactly what they were supposed to be doing on valid visas. Then he switched to undocumented workers, which there may have actually been undocumented workers on the website. I know from other clients that we have that are Latinos, they arrested at least 1 DACA recipient, 1 TPS recipient, and several asylum recipients that had valid work visas. It seems to me that ICE just decided to arrest everybody on the site and sort it out later. And that goes to the point of who was involved in the raid. ICE, you would think, is just one organization, but it's not. ICE has both HSI, which are Homeland Security Investigations, which generally do worksite enforcement, and ERO, that's the people that do removals. It's ERO that are the experts on immigration law. HSI is not. the vast majority of these individuals should never have been arrested. And that's actually the big concern, I think, of Korea here, is these people had followed the law. They had come legally. And if ICE now says, well, you can leave, but you can't come back, that's a massive blow both to the companies, but also to the United States. We need this battery plant here. We want this battery plant. It's going to create thousands of jobs, but not without this initial brief involvement of foreign workers who are specialists in installing the necessary equipment.
And so now, if they are being deported, what kind of repercussions could this have for the American economy? Do you think it's going to backfire on the Trump administration?
Oh, this is clearly going to delay the construction of this plant. It's going to delay the installation of the equipment. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of Koreans are going to tell their employers, I don't want to go to that country. It's crazy right now. They don't know what they're doing. So there are going to be serious, both foreign policy implications as well as physical money implications here in Georgia.
Charles Cook, appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much for